Hi guys!
Aoi desu.
Camila desu.
VK One-san desu. Have you ever heard the word Menhera?
Have you ever seen those Japanese girls in Harajuku that in a first look they seem to be very innocent, very cute, but when you look closer they actually are wearing some very scary accessories.
でもここ可愛いんですけど背中にキリュウ書いてある。
But then it says I love you.
I love you, Kiryu.
Cute, okay. Let's talk about Menhera and Visual Kei.
This video is very intense in information, so before we start, leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel.
And also follow us on the Instagram and Twitter. First of all, what does Menhera mean?
Menhera is an adaptation of the English term mental health. It was created in the online forum 2chan in the early 2000s, but only gained its popularity in the last 10 years or so.
Menhera is someone that suffers with some kind of mental instability, like anxiety, depression, etc.
People that find it difficult to adjust to society's norms and expectations could also be called Menhera.
But we should always remember that, since it's not a medical term, it's up to each person say if they consider themselves Menhera or not.
Most of you probably already know that Japan has super strict social rules. People that stand out in the crowd tend to be judged by the society, and this is something that most Japanese people just avoid in their entire life.
Because of this, mental illness in Japan is a taboo. For society, it's considered a sign of weakness or incompetence. People even lose opportunities in their professional careers if their colleagues know they are suffering of some mental instability.
To hide their problems, some people even hide themselves under a mask of sobriety or even cuteness.
Menhera is usually associated to a fashion style called Yami kawaii. It opposes to the Yume kawaii that most of you probably know.
Yume means dream, and this style uses pastel colors to give the feeling of a fairy-like visual or a dreamland style.
On other hand, Yami means illness, but the reading is the same of the word darkness. Yami kawaii uses the cute part of Yume kawaii, but changes the fairy-like accessories to things related to the concept of Menhera.
Yeah, like darker colors, magical and grotesque themes, and etc. For example, they change a pastel pink unicorn necklace for a dark blue eye patch.
Oh, and sometimes they use a cute character, but it's saying words like I hate you. It creates a dissonance between the image of the character and what is said by it.
Some people consider the Menhera fashion good because it brings attention and reinforces the importance of discussing mental health in Japan.
Other people consider Menhera fashion bad. They think that people that dress like Yami kawaii are doing this because it's on trend, so they trivialize the importance of discussing mental health in Japan.
In the past 4 years, I've been noticing more and more bands using the word Menhera in their songs. And also some of them have been using some Yami kawaii accessories in their concept photos too.
Yeah, for example, Shellmy released a song called Heisei Menhera Theory. R-Shitei, which for me is a band that uses the Menhera concept a lot, released a song called Yanderu Shoujo, which pretty much defines most of the Menhera concept.
R-Shitei is very polemic about everything they do. They always talk about sensitive stuff freely, without caring for people's opinions.
I know, right? And other bands used Menhera too, like The Raid, Dadaroma, Zaza. At some point it was so trendy that all the bands need to use this concept in their songs.
But I think that Menhera is a theme that has been around music in Japan for a long, long time. Even before it was trendy. Since Visual Kei is open to every kind of genre and people, some bands already talked about the hard times of fitting in Japanese society, like Exit Trace did it, Jiren Grey, The Gazetto did it too, and I think Sid also did this in their songs, and many other bands talked about it.
Also, there is a band called DIMLIM that is very popular these days. This year, they released a song called Rijin. It's not Menhera itself, but it talks about a disease called dissociative disorder.
In an interview, the vocalist Sho mentions that he suffers from this disease since he was very small and decided to write a song about it. Not even his band members knew about this disease, so he had to explain to them when we wrote the song. It is really hard to talk about these things in Japan.
So, what do you think about Menhera? Do you know any other Visual Kei bands related to this concept?
We decided to make this video because we received a comment about Sho's disease. And thank you so much for your comment.
Yeah.
We're putting here for people to see. Anyway, so we thought it was very interesting to talk about his disease, but relating to Menhera too, because it has everything to do with the difficulty of talking about mental health in Japan. So it's a very important subject. Thanks for the comments, guys. And leave your comment too. We like reading all of them. If you have any suggestions, we can make a video on your suggestions.
So leave it below. Aoi deshita.
Camila deshita.
VK One-san deshita. Bye bye.
Bye bye.